Hi everyone, I'm Cendril89 and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy Tactics. Quite a few changes, so let's go ahead and go over them. Ramza's still a Squire, he's going to be a Squire, we know his gear. We'll just stick with that. I took the time, took about an hour, and decided to get some job points and really kind of get things rolling when it comes to the classes before we really start Chapter 2. For me on the priest side, I've learned Cure 3, which is a even bigger version of Cure. It has one more vertical than Cure and Cure 2. Same range. It's slower to cast, of course, and costs more MP, but it's going to cure more. Also learned Wall, which only affects one person, but it gives them both Protect and Shell. Again, very expensive MP cost-wise. But not the most expensive thing I learned. Oh no. I also took the time to learn Holy. It costs 56 MP. This is the one really well-known attack magic that white mages from all Final Fantasies can get. Is Holy. White magic attacks by enveloping enemy within a holy light. It's the Holy Elemental. Costs 56 MP and it only affects one enemy. But that one enemy gets lit up. With a range of 5. I love Holy. I've always loved Holy in different Final Fantasies. I always wish they broke Holy down into smaller spells as well that white mages can learn. That way they have a little bit of attack power. Give them something like Light, you know, as a small spell, and then you know, work your way up to Holy. Kind of like Fire 1, 2, 3, and 4. You know, have like different. You can't have Holy 1, 2, 3, or 4. That just wouldn't be right. Have Holy be the biggest spell, and then have smaller versions along the way. Just little thing I've always thought about. Next on the hit parade, we have Kitteh, also known as Van. There we go. See, I did the whole thing. But she's a Geomancer now. Geomancer is a very interesting class. Warrior who knows of good and bad luck from the earth. Uses Elemental, which brings mysterious geographical powers. Be completely honest. Geomancer is one of those classes I really didn't use. I really don't. Not a huge fan of it. But we'll go with it. This is the fun part about this particular LP. I'm going to be doing things that I've never done before. The way Geomancer works is they have one command. They have, I forget exactly what it's called. What is it? Elemental. They use Elemental on a spot. Depending on the tile that the unit is on. So you target a unit. Depending on the tile they're on, you get different effects if you know the right tile. For example, Water Ball. Elemental that damages with the mysterious power of water. If the unit is on a waterway, river, lake, sea, or waterfall, this effect will go off. It'll do water damage and has a chance to add the frog status. Quicksand. If they're on swamp, marsh, poison marsh, I think you target the tile actually. I take that back. We'll figure out exactly how it works. I said, not a huge Geomancer fan. But we're going to use Geomancer. If it's swamp, marsh, poison marsh, water elemental, but it has a chance to add death sentence. So on and so forth. You can learn all kinds of different tiles. Snow and ice, roof, sky, chimney, lava, machine. And you see we're going to be going a whole bunch of different places. Natural surface, wasteland, road. So I gathered up some GP, learned the 3 that I thought, well, it'll fit the woods. That way we have a shot of seeing it. They can learn Counter Flood, which is when they get hit with a physical attack, they'll counter attack with Geomancy. One of these, you know, one of the ability that fits. Instead of counterattacking with a physical attack, they'll counterattack with the elemental skill. I took the time to learn Attack Up. Can cause great damage with physical attack. Basically, it's like magic attack up. It boosts physical attacks. The two movement skills they can learn is Any Ground. Walk easily over waterlands like rivers. Whenever you're in a swamp, as we saw in the woods, it can impede your movement. You can move through it, but you move at a slower rate. You can't move as many squares. Any Ground will take care of that. It's honestly. This one's slightly worse even than that. Move on lava. Move and stop over rocks. You can, as it says, move on lava. These aren't that great, honestly. There's way better movement skills. Like, for example, just having extra move. Excuse me. And there's some other ones that we'll be getting later that far supersede these. But hey, they're there. Geomancers can have quite a bit of equipment. They can have axes. Like I put on Rad. You know, like a battle axe. And you see Squires and Geomancer is the other class that can use it. The GE. But instead, I wanted Van to have a bit more defensive prowess right now. So I gave her Ogher's Mithril Shield. A Mithril Sword, because Geomancers can use them too. Geomancers can use quite a bit of different gear. So that was... That's the one high point I can say of this class. For sure. A leather hat for extra physical damage. Mithril vest for 30 HP. And a leather mantle. Og has the ice bow. I decided to grab for him. Headgear, mithril vest, leather mantle. By the way, I put the Mage Masher on Squirrel. Headgear, mithril vest, and it was battle boots. Just to go over it, Ramza has all of the stuff we gave him before, plus a leather mantle. I geared a little bit Rad, Alicia, and Levian, and I sent them on a mission. Now, I didn't send them on the one that I showed you. I sent them on, I believe it was Garland Magic City. It was like a 5-6 day one. They should be back pretty soon. There's that. Continuing on. I had Slim learn Fire 3. Now he has Big Fire. Black magic erupts in a blazing inferno, just like the other ones. However, more vertical, even more damage, more MP, costing, of course. And I had him learn Flare. Huge spell. Black magic burns an entire area by converting ultra energy to heat. This is not a fire elemental spell. It sounds like it, but it's a non-elemental spell. Click, boom, tons of damage. Does cost 60 MP though. One enemy. This enemy, boom. Take a ton of damage. Flare is always a high damaging spell in Final Fantasy games. It's good to see this is no exception. With that, I wanted to take the time to learn Bolt 3 and Ice 3 and some of the other stuff, but to be honest, I've had Slim as a wizard for far too long. Kind of leaning on the wizard class. I will still be doing that to some extent, but now that he knows the big fire spells, let's change it up. And we're going to turn Slim into a Time Mage. The Time Mage controls time and space. This sorcerer toys with the laws of the universe. Item. Time Mages use staffs, not rods. So I'll buy him a staff real quick. Thought I had a spare one. Oh well. The rest of the gear is going to stay the same. Except this. I bought Slim a silk robe. So let's throw that on. Now, I could get headgear for extra HP. However, I'm going to stick with the red hood for more MP. I did the same thing. As for abilities, we're going to give him back black magic. That way he can cast it. We're also going to take a more in-depth look at the Time Mage class, which I haven't done yet. We know Haste, Haste 2, bigger version of Haste. They can learn Slow, which is the opposite of Haste. Instead of going faster, you'll go slower. Pretty self-explanatory. Slow 2, a bigger version of Slow. It has the vertical. Just think like Protect and Protect 2. They can learn Stop. I've already gone over how vicious Stop can be, so there it is. A Time Mage can cast the spell. Don't Move. They can cast Float, which will float one height above the ground. This will let you get away from rivers and things like that. They can learn Reflect, which if a unit has Reflect on, they can reflect magic. If it has the little arrow icon, as shown beside SP. That little arrow icon means the spell can be reflected. Yes, there are spells that cannot be reflected. If a spell is reflected, it will not affect that unit, it'll affect the caster instead. So if a unit has Reflect and gets hit by fire, the caster will get hit by fire instead. As I said, the spell must have that little arrow icon. If it doesn't, it cannot be reflected. Many of the higher spells do this, as in can't be reflected. They're just too powerful. Time Mages can learn Quick. Time Magic vastly increases the speed of passage, hastening AT. Quick is extremely handy. Demi. Time Magic damages with the powerful pull of gravity by creating ultra high density space. The way Demi works is a unit hit by Demi will take 25% of their HP in damage. Demi 2 is a bigger version. They will take 50% of their HP in damage. And the big spell of Time Mage get, it's Meteor. This huge area affects 4 vertical 3. Time Magic unleashes a huge meteor from the heavens, devastating its target. Costs 70 MP, takes forever to cast at an SP of 8. But when it does, a huge area gets hit. Time Mages can learn Critical Quick for reaction ability. When your HP level is terminal, you can say critical. Your AT is executed next. When you take your HP, gets put into a critical situation, which is when you see a character kind of on one knee, kind of stooped over. That's critical status. You will be the next character to go. Period. Very handy reaction ability. They can also earn MP Switch. Whenever they take HP damage, they lose it from MP instead. This has some various different uses. You can use this ability to put it like on a knight or Ramza or something like that doesn't have much MP, but instead it gives them an extra buffer of HP. Honestly, there's better reaction abilities, but it's here, and there's a few uses for it, I must say. Critical Quick, I feel, is better. Time Mages have, in my opinion, one of the best support abilities around. Short Charge. CT is shortened. Basically, they'll be able to take more turns than anybody. Short Charge is great. Yeah, if you need a unit to go quicker, Short Charge. Fantastic. Who doesn't like taking more turns in battle? As for movement abilities, these are the ones that trump the Geomancer abilities. They can learn Float, so they always have Float on. That's pretty good. Teleport. Distort time moving immediately to your destination. Moving too far will end in failure. So, you can teleport anywhere, but if you go outside your movement range, you'll fail. Teleport is a great movement ability because it lets you get there. And there's the Time Mage. Yeah, this video is just going to be me explaining things. Oh well. When this one comes out, I promise I'll put out another video right afterwards. For TK, he is now a Lancer. Warrior Jump, where that jumps high, and attacks enemies despite heavy arms and weapons. An expert with spears. The Lancer ability is Jump, as you can see. If you've ever seen a Dragoon in a Final Fantasy game, this is it. Jump. Even looks like a Dragoon to me. Lancers are very powerful units. They can equip spears. We went over spears. They have high attack power, pretty good evade. The two hands means you can use it with two hands. You don't have to use it with two hands. I know I said that last time. And a range of 2. They can attack the space in front of them like a normal, like a normal melee attack, or they can attack one space beyond that. If 2 units are lined up, don't think you're going to get a 2 for 1. The spear will hit the unit right in front and it won't carry over. Keep that in mind. Only Lancers can use spears. It's their special thing, and I highly recommend if you're using a Lancer to give them a spear. I'll go over why in a little bit. I gave TK a round shield, or Buddha for 40 HP, and Mithril armor for 50 HP. I also give him a power wrist just to increase his damage that much more. The way the jump command works is, here's the Lancer's abilities. Whatever level jump they have is how many spaces they can jump forward or around. So with level jump 3, he can jump up to 3 spaces away. Now it doesn't have to be a straight line. It could be 1 up and 2 to the side. As you learn higher level jumps, that's how far you can go. Allows you to jump 3 panels horizontally. So that's how many spaces, how many panels out they can go. How many panels up they can go is determined by vertical jump. 2 panels vertically. So if he's at height 1, he could go up to an enemy on height 3, but no more than that. And as you get more vertical jump, you can go higher up. Now, when a Lancer jumps, they jump so high up that they're out of the battlefield. Means they can't be affected by anything. It's like they're not even in the battle. Now, they will stick the panel that they jumped at. Think of it like charging. They will hit that panel whenever their CT gauge reaches 100 again. they will charge at their speed times 2. So, if your Lancer has 6 speed, which it probably will when you first unlock the Lancer class, it'll be charging at 12. So it'll go 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, so on and so forth. Hits 100, stick. The jump command can do a lot of damage because it doesn't say it there. I'd have to actually be in the jump command. The way jump works is when it comes to damage, you'll do normal damage with jump. It's just a way to attack further. However, if you have a spear, you do extra damage. It's 1.5 or times 2 damage. I always forget which. I think it's 1.5 damage. This is a huge boon to the Lancer, because you're probably going to have a spear on them anyway. Spears are great weapons. Good attack power, good evade if you want to use weapon guard. You can use it with 2 hands. You could not use it one hand, have a shield. Just great weapons. Jump, they're out of the battlefield. That means they can't be hit by attacks. And then whenever they come down, they'll do a ton of damage. The Lancer is a great class. And I recommend, you know, trying it out and really giving it a shot. I could have had TK turn into a Lancer earlier. I'll go over all the prereqs when I'm done with the explanations. However, I wanted to wait until I had a lance. You can give them a sword. They can use swords. However, you just don't get the full effect of the Lancer without a spear. In the remake, I do believe they did change the job class to Dragoon. They named it Dragoon, which I approve of. I do approve of that. Because that's what it is. It's a Dragoon. Lancers have a great reaction ability. Dragon Spirit. Whenever they get hit with the physical attack, remember, this is all on Brave % chance. If it's not on Brave % chance, I'll have Baby Dragon explain it. They have a chance to add Raise. You're thinking, wait. Basically, if a Lancer gets killed by a physical attack, they have a chance to, well, raise themselves with Dragon Spirit. This is a great ability. The only downfall is physical attack. If they die by a magic attack, well, that's it for them. For the support ability, equip Spear. Equip Spear regardless of job. It's like all the other equip stuff. For movement, they have Ignore Height. Now, if you're gonna take jump, if you like jump +1, 2, you're finding it useful, this is what you want. Jump to any height regardless of jumping ability. You could be on height 1, and the next panel could be height 150. No, they don't get that high, but I'm just being hypothetical. You will jump to 150. So, if you want to use that, if you like jumping higher, that's your skill. And there's the Lancer class. Just overall great class. I'm going to keep TK with battle skill for now, so that's really going to put on. I had TK learn maintenance. Equipped items are immune to break techniques. If you're worried about something getting broke, this is the skill for you. If you go into a battle, like you say before, and stuff keeps getting broke by enemies, and you're like, man, and you keep restarting, you don't want to lose that rare piece of equipment, equip maintenance. That'll solve your problem. Something else I wanted to show off real quick was, remember how Ogherwin and Gafgarian have the white magic skill equipped? Well, Iris is a pretty good white mage. She knows Cure and Cure 2, Raise, and that's it. But not bad. She knows how to raise and she knows some curing spells. Pretty cool. Ogherwin, on the other hand, knows Cure, Protect, and he had just a little. He had just enough JP to learn Shell. As you can see, he only has 20 JP left. He also knows Fire, Bolt, and Ice if you decide to throw Black Magic on him instead. Which I will. Why not? It kind of fits him more. And there you go. Phew. Change in chapter. Of course, there's going to be a lot to go over. Didn't even get to the battle. Oh well. I'm going to cut this video here. But I'm going to go ahead and just start another recording session, and I'll post both this video and the next video, which will be Fighting in the Woods, one right after each other. One right after the other. There you go. That sounds better, doesn't it? So, I'll be right